My name is Racy Weisswitz, and I'm here today with Bill O'Brien, who has served numerous positions on the New Haven Road Race Board. He's previously been the president of the race as well as the treasurer, and in recent years he's worked to secure many sponsorships for the event. How are you today, Bill?
I'm good.
Great. Thank you for meeting with me.
My pleasure.
I guess, can you tell me a little bit about your involvement with the race?
I joined the race in 1981. I was serving as my last term as president of the Walter Cann Football Foundation. That year, my boss called me into his office one day and said, Billy, since we're going to be sponsoring that race that takes place every Labor Day in New Haven, and we solicited them to give us a position on the board of directors as part of our sponsorship, which was a rousing $5,000 back then, which was a decent amount of money back then, almost 40 years ago. And I was the person appointed to serve representing the bank. And I stayed on as a member of the board until my job with the bank was eliminated back in 1997 when the bank merged with a bank in New Jersey. A bunch of us had left the bank and the bank left the bank in 1997, and I went to work for New Haven Savings. I really thought my days with the board would be over because my other bank, which was sponsoring that bank, dropped out. But I got a call from the president of New Haven Savings, Charlie Terrell. God bless him, he passed away since. He called me into his office and he said to me, I understand you've been involved in the New Haven Road Race for a while. I said, yeah. He said, well, we're going to sponsor that race, and we're going to be giving them a lot of money. Sponsorship was like $25,000 at the time. And wondered if you want to stay on the board. And of course, I didn't break any time. I took the job in 1981, and I stayed on. I'm still on. Here I am, 36 years later. I'm still serving on the board. It's been a labor of love, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm very proud of what's happened.
Yeah,
Race,
definitely.
you know.
So are there any major changes that you've witnessed over the course of the 40 years?
I mean, the first major change was adding the 5K to the 20K race, and of course we had a kids race at the same time, which is still in effect. Very popular with the kids. And recently we added the half marathon. But I think the thing that I'm really the most proud of is the fact that the race is so well managed, such a great dedicated board of directors and leadership, including John Weisswitz and John Kortmach, that we're able to give money to charity every year, and that is something that appeals to me.
Yeah, that's great.
Actual cash contributions, and it allowed us to send kids for nothing, and it's just a nice organization.
Yeah, for sure. So you capture many well-known photos of the start as well as the elite athletes. Is there any particular photo that you have that jumps out in your memory?
You know, to be honest with you, I have to admit, I'm into the racing event. I'm not into the racing business.
Okay.
I don't know who all the top runners are every year. John Tolbert does a great job of bringing in. Now, I certainly know the ones that are obvious ones, Bill Rogers, and Greg Myers, Bill Reif Snyder, and all those guys that won our race a couple of times. Anytime you take a picture of somebody crossing that finish line, breaking that feet, it's a thrill for me. I just enjoy catching it, you know what I mean? I try to catch it so that from a photographer standpoint, you want to get the sponsor's name in it, you obviously have to get the runner in the picture, you want to get the clock in the picture, you want to get the banner's name, and all this other stuff, and the emotion of the moment. So I have too many to mention, I think, that were exhilarating experiences for me. I also had a couple of frustrations too, by the way, where I had the wrong setting on the camera. We don't have to talk about those.
That's great. So do you have any favorite memories from the race?